Hi guys, it's Nathan here from Headbangers. Today we're joined by Dave from Signs of the Swan. If you haven't heard of Signs of the Swan before, they're a nice little deathcore band. We highly recommend you listen to them. Absolute heavy hitters in the scene. This episode was really fun to film. We had a lot of laughs throughout. We talk a lot about how he's sort of shaped as a vocalist, as well as their new album that's dropping on July 23rd. The production behind that, some of the challenges that came with that, also working with a producer for the first time properly and having that second sort of opinion and how it's improved them as musicians. So yeah, without any further ado, if you do like the podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you listen to us on streaming, don't forget to leave us a rating because it does actually help us out. Social medias, it's Headbangers Podcast and everything, except for Twitter, because for some reason that was taken. It's Headbangers Pod 1. Also, if you want to support us, we do have a Patreon. So if you want to, toss a bit of coin to your Witcher, yeah, that's up there as well. But without any further ado, here's the episode. Hi, welcome back to the Headbangers Podcast, where your hosts Nathan and Brad. Here today we're joined by Dave from Signs of Swan. How are you doing to start off with, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, couldn't be bad, man. Couldn't be bad.
Yeah,
doing great, doing great. So we like to start off with like a little icebreaker on this show. Want to start off with what's your funniest tour story that you can recall?
Shit, funniest tour story. I gotta think. Whenever I was shitting my pants trying to pass the El Paso border, dude. We had a bunch of weed inside our van, bunch of like edibles and shit, and like we're like literally like eating like, so we had like bags of huge like where they're like 1,000 milligram edibles, and literally like me and a couple guys were like eating a couple at it each, and we're using like RSO on edibles and like smoking all our weed and just smoking as much wax as we can, and then we're like driving through the border, and we didn't realize that one of our weed infused honeys like melted onto the floor, and then the drug dogs were fucking going crazy, like running around our van and shit, dude. It was the funniest and scariest moment of tour ever.
I'm gonna assume that you didn't get caught then.
No. We got rid of everything. But after we like got past the thing, we thought we were all good. We realized that we had 4 vapes inside our van afterwards too. And so literally we were lucky as fuck.
What's this like? So you had some like weed honey then? Never even heard of
that. Dude. My buddy in Michigan, he owns Nug Abductions. Shout out to them. They're great guys. They take care of us every time we come into Michigan. But he knows that I like will drink honey in my tea and stuff. And then he's like, hey, fucking, I put both worlds together. Here you go. And I'm just like, fucking, let's go, man.
Let's relax and brew.
Yeah, like literally start the morning off, nice hot brew. You know what I mean? It's nice.
Oh yeah, man. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. One thing I wanted to sort of like bring up on the podcast is I kind of want you to cast your mind back to February 2021, because I think you guys at that time released the collection. Obviously, at that you released the collection. And
yeah.
Me was like the hardest track of 2021.
Dude, that was so hard to pull off, dude. Like fucking, it was like because originally like Alex Arian from Despised Icon, Obey the Brave, he was actually gonna be one of the guys on the collection, and like timelines couldn't link up, and so I thought it was gonna be Alex and Matt from Kublai Khan, and then like Alex ended up being like, oh, let me be on your actual record, and just because the timeline won't work out. That's how Hollow Prison was born. But yeah, that was so hard to pull off, dude. Fucking Nick came through, fucking helped out with like bring the ideas to a different light. It was really sick, like because both of those bands, Kublai Khan and Molotov Solution, really like encouraged me to kind of do my own thing. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to ask you, what it was like working with them, and like again just pulling that off, because the features, when I saw the features on that track, I was like, mate, I'm so ready, dude. Trying to get him just on the track was hard as fuck, but pulling him off, getting him there was crazy as fuck to me. Like fucking because I had the guys fly in and like it first started off with like the project like we like we like just kept bumping around ideas. We were like, how the fuck are we gonna make these three vocals like work? And Nick was like, all right, I want this part. And I was like, all right, well, that's the chorus. So you get it twice. And then my guitar player at the time was like, I need to write like the heaviest shit for Matt to do. And then fucking he just puts that obnoxious knuckle dragging riff so hard, dude. But we ended up bouncing more ideas around. And then Matt was just like, I'm just gonna go to the studio and just do my part. And I was just like, okay. And then he sent a part and it was the part that is on the track. And I was like, oh, well, that's sick. And then like we were waiting around for Nick's thing while we were figuring out the like trade-offs. Because the trade-off part was a real bitch. We were like, how the fuck are we gonna pull this off? Like knowing who's doing what in the studio. Because we like wrote out lyrics and like put like slashes in it and stuff. And it was like a real bitch. But then ended up like everyone just tracked everything and we just like kind of like just like snipped it in and out and shit because that was hard. It was hard to get the three tracks. It was like we had to communicate really well, but getting them in for the music video, that was crazy. I didn't anticipate that actually happening.
Oh yeah, that music video is amazing as well.
Yeah, PFI
Like
man.
perfectly fits to the track, and like it's just like everything about it. The whole track just flows, visuals, and just music in general is just like just on top form.
Dude, we for the music video, we were trying to do this like real extreme art process where we were gonna vacuum seal people into fucking things. If like live, like you know how like there's like bug collections.
Oh yeah.
We were gonna make like a human bug collection. You know what I'm saying? But like bunch of people like up in like an X, like it just ended up costing way too much fucking money, and we could not pull it off.
Yeah, that is
So
ambitious to be
you
fair.
get the quote and you're there like, fuck that. You know what?
Yeah, dude.
guys?
I got that invoice and I was like, what the fuck, yo?
To be fair though, like you guys like put like a lot of effort. You can tell that you guys like care about the visuals because even like on your gram you've got like the visual effects breakdown, the SFX breakdowns. I think that's great to be honest because like I always look at these music videos. I'm like, how did they pull that off? Like it must have taken a while, and then you guys actually just showed
like
it
whenever I was younger, dude, like I always loved watching like MTV's the making of the music video and shit. I like grew up on MTV and shit, so like I feel like that's just like something that kind of just like engraved in my mind as something cool, and I just want to show like how the fuck we pulled it off. You know what I mean? Like some people thought like the Tower of Torsos and Tower of Torsos were real fucking bodies, and I'm like, no, we just got the guy from Netflix doing special effects on our music videos. You know
super
what I
awesome,
mean?
man.
Like,
Yeah, because I went by and I just saw like I think it was like a girl and there was like some sort of demon coming out of her mouth like black smoke. I was like, I thought I'd just scroll past like a supernatural episode or something. It's just like, oh no, it's the Signs of Swan. It's just
that's
good
what
because
I'm
like
saying, dude. It's
yeah,
crazy next level shit, man. We like to try to fit like visuals that kind of can like paint the picture of what the song's actually about. And we do like have like an artsy approach a lot of the times where it's not very directly in your face. Um, like our new video Amongst Alone Empty, for example, it's a very artsy take of being surrounded by like shitty people, you know what I mean? And becoming one with those people and stuff. And like they did that whole like blood transfusion thing where it's like kind of like everybody like is becoming one, you know what I mean? And real different take on it, you know, but it was really artsy. Where in the other hand, we sometimes we do the direct stuff with like Tower Torsos and it's like straight to the point. Like, yeah, this dude is literally killing people and building a fucking tower of dead bodies to summon hell. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, sure, man. Well, look, I'm really stoked for the new record. I can't wait for it. One of my favorite singles off the album was like "Amongst the Low and Heavy." I think that's like one of the most interesting ones of the singles. You got these frantic bass lines, these fucking vocals is coming in like hard. How do you think like this album is gonna like differ from previous releases?
I feel like that this record is very special compared to our other ones. This record is very in the moment. We went into the studio, we threw away everything we wrote and literally started from scratch, and created the record all with Josh Schroeder with additional production by Josh Travis and Cameron Loesch from Born of Osiris. I feel like that it's really gonna do a lot of different things for us just because it's our first record where we actually worked with producers, and it wasn't just raw Signs of the Swarm. You know what I mean? We listened to it a good couple times. We got some reference points from people as like second and third ears. It's just we put a lot more like effort into this record than past. Not saying we lacked on last experiences. It's just that we grew as musicians and people to where we have a little more attention to detail now than we did in the past.
Oh yeah. So would you say like getting a producer in that second sort of set of ears, do you think that has helped you guys a lot?
I believe it made me grow as a musician as a whole. Like I've never been told before that my chorus was a B+ chorus and I need to do better. And literally I pushed myself to make something better. You know what I mean? I believe like the constructive criticism to really like help you do something different and bring some new taste, a new flavor, a new perspective that's a little fresh. You know what I mean? And really like working with like producers really like pushed me as an artist and a musician, along with my guys. Like Josh pushed Bobby to a new creative that I've never seen before, which was very awesome to like watch happen. You know what I mean? Like watching my peers that I've been running with for years fucking just like grow even more than I thought they could. You know what I mean? Like it's a really different experience, and it definitely helps shed some light on you, like where your weaknesses are pointed out. And it's like, all right, well, now that we know your weak points, let's focus on the strong suits. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things that go to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it was just like I definitely think working with the producer really helped elevate the record a lot.
Oh yeah, like I found just from my own experience, like having a producer that just kind of just steps in and goes like, I know I just got a feeling you can do better.
Yeah,
it makes you like really go for it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like having a personal
it's,
trainer, isn't it?
Yeah, bro. It's like you're like in a team deathmatch and you were on a killing spree and then you died and now you got to start over. You know what I mean? Like, it's whatever. It's okay. Fuck you. Just flatline for a second. No big deal.
Because I remember like when I was doing it when I was recording vocals for my band like a couple years ago. I remember doing like highs, and at the time, highs for me, I mean, there's still a problem, but highs I find really hard to get up there. Like really, like get really high. And he was there like our producer was just sat there going, I just feel like you can go higher. And I think I must have done like 20 fucking takes.
That's the worst like, because I've been there. I've been
the last one, and he was there like the last one. He went, "Yep, that's the one getting used." I was there like, but that was after just being like, right, I think we're done doing vocals for the day.
I think I'm done doing vocals for the week.
You can see like the improvement of your vocals though, like, you know, even just from like this album, like you've leveled up and it's so spicy, especially like the new singles. Like, I don't know, you just taking it to like the next level, which I'm guessing that is from like, you know, having that push as well.
See, honestly, with this approach for the record, I recorded it in a completely different manner than I normally would. I would usually like have that shit like right on my fucking face and just fucking like flat, like literally pinning it the entire time. Where this time I was more laxed. I had the mic a good distance away from my face, so there's no proximity effects. Um, like there was a lot of moments where I was literally kicked back, like feet up on a fucking music stand, like where they keep like music sheets. Putting my feet up, like fucking reclining in a computer chair, just like doing vocals. Like Tower of Torso's like part, like dude, like I was like,
That like the honey tea.
yeah, dude, like literally just sipping away. Fucking yeah, we were in Michigan, baby. I had all that shit on tap.
Love it, man.
Now, as well, what one thing that I wanted to sort of ask is that I noticed how you guys sort of approach breakdowns is really different to other metalcore bands that I've seen. Like it's melodic, but sort of proggy in my opinion. But like it's not, it's still heavy in the sense that it's not like the easy heavy. It's like heavy, but you've thought about, okay, but how can we make this different? So like, how do you go about writing those breakdowns or like formulating them or structuring them?
It kind of goes with like the vibe that we're trying to hit. Like if we're going throughout our song and we're like, okay, we got a couple of chuggier parts, where like it's a more chug dominant song, we'll kind of step back and be like, all right, well, we need to think of a really brilliant way on how to make the climactic part as climactic as possible. And that's whenever Bobby will come in and add different types of elements and find a nice flat like bass line to work with. And then once we figure out the groove, that's whenever we start experimenting with filling like the like kind of sound space. um Most of the time it just really depends on like the vibe. uh Bobby will like do a lot of things where like he'll sit at his desk and he'll like tap on the desk and like try to and just like get a nice bob going. And like once he gets a good head bob going, he takes like those taps and translates it to like kick patterns and drums, and kind of just build it from there.
That's
um
interesting.
yeah, because like for the record Amongst Alone and Empty, we kind of like Bobby built all the songs in Studio A and then sent them to me in Studio B. Or no, we were in Studio B. He was in Studio B and I was in Studio C. And us using Mac, we'd airdrop files to each other. So he'd finish a track and send it to me, and then I'd be like, "Oh shit, I think this one production idea would be really cool." Because like we wanted to do everything to the songs before we sent them to other producers to see if there's anything that they wanted to kind of contribute or tell us like, "Oh, you guys are kind of filling up that sound space a little too much. Let the song actually do what it's doing." You know what I mean? But then would add like productions and stuff and send it back and forth, and then that's whenever the lyric stuff would get built onto it after.
Pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool because I always wondered it. I was like, I was sat listening to like a few tracks through the day because I always like doing that before interviews, just like you're just like really like.
Oh no, I listened to your podcast before fucking hopping on here to
Oh,
kind of
sweet,
know
man.
what I was
That
getting
means a lot,
into.
man.
But
Yeah, I like
I'll-
to do that. You know what I mean? Like I like to at least check out what I'm getting into, watch an episode or two, or listen to an episode or two before getting in. I feel like it's respect. You know what I mean? Fucking, you're we're doing something together. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing. You know?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I was just like listening to him, and I always just thought, I was like, these breakdowns don't feel like normal, like deathcore breakdowns. They just feel like their own thing, and that's what I just thought was so interesting about it.
See, like we're a deathcore band through and through. You know what I mean? But like we kind of like to. Bobby put it a certain way whenever we were doing this documentary thing. Um, we wanted whenever we were writing this, we wanted to bring a different perspective of deathcore because everybody was so fascinated with the symphonic deathcore wave that has been kind of going on. A lot of bands have been implementing that sound to their music, and we didn't want to be one of the bands jumping on that bandwagon. Essentially, you know what I mean? Like, we wanted to kind of just show a different perspective of metal as a whole, where like you can add like techno things to it. Like in Tower of Torsos, we've got the electronic stuff going on, and like Amongst Alone Empty, we have like trap hats and shit going on. That's shit we would never do. in the past, and we kind of just like broke through, and we were like, what other things can we do that we haven't done yet? And that's where I feel like that a lot of this stuff is really special, just because like as our sound evolves, we try to make ourselves stand out and stay away from what the popular thing is to do, and we just stay true to just being heavy as fuck and just having a great time. You know what I mean?
I thought it was like
Uh,
really refreshing, to be honest. Like when I listened to these singles, I was like, I love deathcore like through and through. Like it is one of my favorite things ever. But like, sometimes it can become a bit saturated with bands, like you said, like jumping on the bandwagon. Everyone wants to be Lorna Shore, everyone wants to do this. But like, I listened to this, I was like, this sounds different. This sounds like it's pulling from a lot of different, elements. And even with
yeah,
like, some tech death in there as well. Like there's some technical parts. The bass lines are really funky in some sections. I
dude,
was like,
Mike
this is
killed
interesting.
it on this
He did.
record, man.
Yeah.
Mike, literally almost every single take he did was just one shot,
Yeah, it was
like almost
incredible.
every single one, dude. It's crazy. Kid is literally like a robot on bass. All finger technique, amazing. I'm so glad that he came around for real. It's hard to find people that want to stick around and do this shit. You know what I mean? It's a lot to ask for people to do. You know what I mean? Like you're missing out on very significant moments of your life to be running around and playing shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
Oh yeah.
definitely.
Oh yeah,
but
like
yeah,
it's everyone like I think everyone's got like this idea that being a musician would be easy. It's like, oh yeah, you just get to be in a van all day, go and tell your friends, and it's like I've tried for years to get a solid just band, like just a solid 5 people, you know, and just
it's
write
hard,
music,
bro.
and it's every so often it's like, oh well, that person quit because they can't do it anymore, they can't find the time. That person, they can't, they just can't afford it anymore, and it's like
Or this
it's
person's having
impossible.
a baby, or this person wants to work the 9 to 5 job and fucking still have his 401k at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's
everybody
just not
has their
easy.
own. Yeah, it's really hard.
The
Just
sacrifice, isn't it?
true.
It's a
It's
lot of
a
time and money.
yeah, literally like just to kind of like keep doing it. You know what I mean? It is a lot of time and money. Fucking, but yeah, fucking Mike ripping the record though. He crushed it. He
Oh yeah.
crushed it. Yeah. Because Bobby did drums and guitar on the record, and Mike did bass and helped with some lyrics, and then I did singing. And Carl, he came in at the end of the record, and he like did some solo action, and he did some backup vocals.
Sweet
Oh,
man.
sweet man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everybody played their own little like special part in this record, because it was a very like very challenging circumstances going into it. We parted ways with our guitar player Jeff Russo at the time. That just wasn't working out. It was hindering the band in a way, where we chose to get rid of everything and start from scratch. You know what I mean? And then we ended up finding the right guy to kind of like work into the band, and we just kept it tried and true. Because Bobby is the usual composer of the band. He's been pretty much composing all the music since Pernicious. Um, yeah, it's going on like 3 years now, give or take.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like you're reading my mind because that was one of the questions. Like, what was the sort of biggest challenges of writing the new record?
Dude, that was a fucking challenge, man. Because like so much shit moving around. People are like, should we even go into the studio? You know what I mean? Like they're like, you don't have a guitar player. And then Bobby's like, fucking bet. I used to be the guitar player of the band. Like, are you kidding me? Like, he's just in there, just like fucking, dude. Yeah,
Just there, like hold my beer.
for real though. It was more like hold my drumsticks.
Just sat there nailing it.
Is he like the band dad then? He just like keeps everything in check.
It's kind of a mixture of both of us. We keep each other in check. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, man. I want to jump into you as a vocalist as well.
okay.
Who were like your vocal heroes growing up, and who do you think as well has shaped your vocals the most,
Honestly,
influence-wise?
as like the general, like I would say like general top three, like that truly influenced me the most, would be Nate Johnson, Mitch Lucker, and Phil Bozeman. Those three guys are legendary. They really pushed me to like really be who I am. But like people that really like helped like me shape as a vocalist, it would be like everybody I shared the road and stage with. Like every single, like anytime I meet somebody, I'm talking shop with them. I'm seeing if I'm doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck are you staying alive so much? Get your lazy ass into the gym. You know what I mean? Like fucking there's always something to be learned. And honestly, like Jay from Ingested, he taught me a lot.
Yeah, great vocalist.
Yeah, fucking I shared the road with him a lot, and honestly he taught me a lot. First European tour, he pretty much held my fucking hand because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. You know what I mean, dude? Like one of my first like major tours over there, first tour in general over there. But yeah, like Kyle Mendina from Body Snatcher, like shared the stage with him. He really like because like there was one thing that really like stuck with me forever. It was like the first tour I ever did with Signs. I'm like thinking about it so hard, like, how do you like not blow your voice out, man? And he's like, quit thinking about it, idiot. That's how it happens. And literally it stuck with
You'll
me ever
manifest its
since
existence.
Exactly. That's pretty much it. And that stayed with me. But like truly, everyone I get to share the stage and road with, I learn from them in some shape or form. If it's what to do or what not to do, you know what I mean? Like, there's always like things to be learned, you know. And
I think that's
really,
great, man. Like,
yeah,
truly,
it's just,
because like you get like a lot of people that might just like be a bit enclosed and like they'll only do the things that they've taught themselves and like they won't want to learn or get better. But the fact that you're sort of like networking with people and just like getting pointers and stuff, like I
dude,
think
that's
that's
what
only
it's
better
all
long run.
about, man. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I'm in this shit for the culture and to like be involved. Like, this music saved my life. You know what I mean? Like, I came from like a very challenging like upbringing in a sense, and this music really saved me. You know what I mean? And that's why I really like to kind of just do what I can.
Oh yeah, like I always like that. Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we started this because like for years I've always wanted to just be more involved with like the scene, and I always found like traditional like metal media didn't get to that like heart of it or like really bring up stuff or get people to have their own voice. Like so
Yeah,
that's why we started this because like I feel like there needs to be a market for that. And on the point of like vocals earlier, when you mentioned like just like stop like thinking about it was like the biggest advice. I always found that was like the biggest like lesson I ever learned doing it because it's like I always found if I was like yeah I'm gonna do this technique and really think about where how I'm doing it, I'd always fuck it up. But like when I was just like nah, just let loose, it always just like every time it was like I don't know how the fuck I did that, but that sounded good.
dude, that's literally it. It's like the more you relax and the more you just be your genuine self, the more organic and fresh and tasty it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Whenever you're all stiff, you know what I mean? Like whenever you're watching a movie, you're not watching like some famous actor like all stiff as a board. You know what I mean? Like they're
Here's my
relaxed
next
and
line.
they're playing that part. You know, fucking they're playing the part. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah, you just
just
got to
like
immerse yourself.
just loosen up.
exactly.
I always like to do weirdly before I do vocals. I like to do stretches. Just
See,
like
I do too. I be stretching, and but it's only because like I be fucking doing some dumb shit. Like if I sat down and like spoke with like a vocal coach and like a vocal instructor or something, and they're like listening to what I'm saying, like I'm doing, they're like, dude, that doesn't even do nothing. You know what I mean? But like it does something up here, you know?
oh yeah, 100%. Like I every time it's like at band practice, like why the fuck do you always stretch? And they're like, it's because it's like It's like it's loosey goosey.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
like
Literally, me and my bass player Mike, we be saying loosey goosey before we fucking go out all the time. So that's fucking brilliant, bro.
it's just how my brain sort of clicks it. It's just like loosey goosey, baby, loosey goosey.
Hell
Like,
yeah, dude.
but then but I always find if I don't do that, it's just something feels off. I'm like, I don't know what is off about it, but the fact that I haven't stretched.
You didn't have that couple minutes, man, where you just like zone in and you're prepared. You know what I mean? I feel like that meditation is very important before going on a show. Me, I like to smoke before I go on, and I like to kind of stay away from everybody. I kind of get in my own headspace because like my personality off stage versus my personality on stage are two drastically different people. You know what I mean? And I kind of got to like get in that headspace. You know what I mean? Like fucking kill each other. You know what I mean? Like
I was just about to ask that as well, because like, do you find like, because I find I have to get into like a genuinely like almost pissed off state to be able to get it like that.
See, I don't have to get pissed off. It's like I have to get in authority mode. You know what I mean? Like I gotta get up there and like it's like I'm the remote controller to what people are doing. You know what I mean? Like
the conductor of chaos, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm just up there, I'm just like fucking, but I'm like controlling people, making them fucking bang their heads and kill their friends.
Do you remember like the first time like you like felt really into that role? Like, you know, like, oh, okay, this feels comfortable now. Because I remember we were speaking to Chad from Frozen Soul, and he was like telling us about how like, you know, he wasn't confident at first on stage, and now like he's just killing it. So like, do you remember the moment that changed, or you know, how was that for you?
The biggest moment for when that changed was I'd have to say on Chaos and Carnage. It's like whenever I did that tour, that's whenever like I was like, I got this now, yo. You know what I mean? Like I like I'm getting people to do shit that I've never seen them do before. You know what I mean? Like getting them to do like hip hop fucking arm bangs like during like fucking headbang parts and shit. Like that's like whenever I realized like I needed to start like introducing an experience whenever we played instead of just a show. And that's whenever a big eye opener of doing it for years where like I was like, man, I've been lacking this whole fucking time. You know what I mean? And once I kind of had that click, that's whenever I realized like, hey, we're gonna start having more fun instead of like, because there'll be times like say like whenever like I'm playing songs and like I know people are gonna yell in one part, like fucking I take advantage of that. You know what I mean? And that I like tell people to do something whenever people are like yelling out the one part. You know what I mean? Like, and then fucking I'm going to the next measure and like just playing the song or whatever. It just depends if how the vibe is, you know.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I always find like having that in mind is so much better, because the amount of times I've had like heard like friends bands or like anything like that just come up to us after the show going, man, that crowd was terrible, and it's like, no, it's an exchange, man. You need to hype them up.
You got to give them 100 in order for you to get 100 back. You know what I mean? People can fucking see that. Like fucking like you go up there and you're just like, I'm gonna stay at like 60% today. There are gonna be motherfuckers up there that fucking watch your shit every set online, and they're gonna be like, I know you're being a bitch today. You know what I mean? Like, or at least that's how I think about it. I get so self-conscious if like I'm not performing personally. Like if I'm like standing there, I'm like, man, people are getting bored. I gotta fucking do something cool. And then I try like fucking getting more into it. You know what I mean? But that's just me being paranoid shit.
Also like a perfectionist though, like, you know, it shows like you care about the audience participation and you want to make sure everyone's like having a good time. You know, some bands go up there and just stand there, you know.
Yeah, see, like I think it sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like because like I get it, like there's like the power stances and stuff, but there's times whenever it's like effective and like the body language, like kind of like some theater shit. You know what I mean? Like, because like I used to be like a theater nerd in high school, and you know what I mean? Like, I like that kind of shit. fucking, but I feel like that's a very important part of like a live experience. Like say like somebody's playing a song and like they're halfway throughout their set and like they're sitting there taking a knee because they're fucking winded. I think that's hard lame. That's just me though. Some people have like that premise where they're like, yeah, I'm gonna get on my knees and I'm gonna do this part. But there's a difference of like the execution of it. You know what I mean? And like I don't know. I'm weird whenever I'm watching shit because I'm like, you being lazy or is this it?
It's for the show, guys. I promise. You know.
Oh yeah, like it never dawned on me how important that stuff is until like also started like going to hardcore shows because
I love the energy of hardcore shows.
Mate, there's no better energy. Like all my friends who still like really diehard metalheads, I'm like, just come with me to one, and like it just changed your whole perspective.
Dude,
like,
for real, honestly, their culture.
Definitely.
I really like Pittsburgh hardcore. Huge in me growing up. Really pushed me like on my influence and everything. Fucking, but totally lost train of thought. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
But like, yeah, fucking hardcore shows, dude. Fucking, they're so fucking sick. Like, there'll be times like whenever like we're playing and like people like jump on stage and like stage walk and like do front flips and shit. Like that'll happen sometimes. Like in like Texas, that happens for us. And dude, like literally, it gets me the biggest fucking boner ever. Because like I'm just like yeah. It's let's like go. A warlord, dude. Like I'm like scared for my fucking life. Like, let's go.
Oh yeah, like it's like I used to go and like be hyped by just seeing like older bands like just sort of headbang on stage. As the minute I step foot and I'm like seeing like a vocalist just do like a fucking spin kick on stage, and I'm just like, yeah,
like, dude, that's what I'm saying, bro.
There's nothing that hypes you up more. Where he's like, and you're just looking around and everyone's literally like pretty much committing assault and it's just sanctioned violence. Yeah, like hang on a minute. Like,
I was just at the Acacia Strain Integrity show that went off around here lately. Dude, fucking, I broke my mosh retirement. Fucking, I haven't moshed in years, and then fucking the Acacia Strain's playing crippling pain, and fucking like literally like they just start just like fucking literally I'm doing fucking a front flip off the stage. Fucking I love No Barrier shows. It's so sick.
Yeah. Do you remember like the first time that you ever got into like the heavier side of music then? Like, do you remember your first album that you bought and first show you went to?
Oh yeah, dude. Fucking A Mirror was a real big take on like my first like real like if you say deathcore record that I purchased. Welcome to the Gallows. Fucking that record was very important for my timeline. If that record wouldn't have been in my like little escapades of life, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at. I'd probably be in some like grindcore band where it's just like and that's it. It's over. If I like truly because that band ended up having me fall into the Acacia Strain into like the Contortionist, and just like listening to Plea for Purging, and you know what I mean, just like falling down the like MySpace band rabbit hole. Because I used to be a classic raw XD scene kid. I'm ashamed to say, but yeah, like I got the lip ring scars to prove it, bro. But yeah, fucking the like Blind My Burial, they're a really big influence on me. Like they're from my area, and they were like one of the first like metal bands like to get like 1 million views on YouTube and shit. Like fucking like they had this song called Finish Him like way back in the day where it's like fucking yeah, that like that whole timeline, man, is very important for me. But very like But like obviously, like before that though, like my mom was getting me like Linkin Park records and like Limp Bizkit records and like fucking I'm slamming those in my room while I'm in arts like class and doing like fucking math and shit. You know what I mean? Um, but like falling into heavier shit, like that's whenever I ended up falling into like Whitechapel, Somatic Defilement, listening to that shit like on Pandora. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like fucking then finding out that they're on Comcast and watching them on demand and shit. Like I remember whenever Possession came out, and I was like, what? Blew my fucking mind.
I remember when my friend showed me the Stories of the Law by Whitechapel, and I was like,
Killer.
like what is this?
What was your first experience of Whitechapel? I'm just curious. How old are you guys?
I'm
26.
I'm 25 tomorrow.
Oh shit. Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you, man.
So 25, 26. All right. So what's your first take on Whitechapel? Was the first song you heard?
It was the Endless War for me.
Which one? One at a time. Sorry, it came in at once.
Brad first.
Yeah, mine was the Endless War.
Hell yeah.
Mine was the Stories of the Law, because like my friend got into him first and he was like, you need to listen to this track. And like I listened to it, I was like, what's this band called?
Never looked back since.
Yeah, never looked back since.
Dude, New Era Corruption, man, that shit's flawless start to finish. Like the one with like all those like weird robot gods like all on the front, like fucking that shit's so hard. Fucking
it's always interesting, like speaking to people.
I'm just
like...
fanboying over Whitechapel, dude. I'm such I love that band so much.
I was gonna say, like, it's always interesting, like talking to different people and like, you know, seeing when they dropped in, because I think like for me and Nathan, we sort of like worked our way back in a lot of bands, because a lot of these bands are already established that are like our favorites now. So, you know, like, you know, we would start on like our Endless War and then go back to like Possession and shit like that. And this is our Exile and shit. But yeah, killer.
Yeah. I used to I felt like, because I got into it quite late, like a lot of people I know got into it at high school. I got into it straight after high school into like college, like so I was kind of like, oh,
you're late to the party, bro.
Way late to the party.
I was in that shit fucking whenever I was in middle school, bro. Like I was in fucking 8th grade, fucking algebra, just listening. Fucking I think it's like Fairly Fay. That song used to be like my go-to. I always remembered the name because it made me think of Lil Navi from Zelda. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know why, dude. It just like every time I saw the name, I got excited and thought of Zelda.
Reasonable.
Because I got into it so late, when I started going to shows and like people would be like talking about records and I had no clue about it. Or if any, God forbid, anyone ever asked me, I was like, oh, what's your favorite? And then if I didn't know the name of the band, I was like, fuck. And then like the sheer panic made me research every band I could.
Oh my God.
Like a revision, isn't it, for an exam?
Honestly, my eyes used to just glaze over. And it's just, it used to just be panicking, like, oh no, I'm going to be called a poser.
Dude, it really sucks because like that'll happen to me. Like people will be like, yo, what's your favorite song by like this band? And I'm just like, thinking about it so fucking hard. And I'm like, I listen to these guys fucking every day, but I'll put on their albums and I just start going and I'll be like, all right, I listened through that one. Let's put on the next one. You know what I mean? And like fucking I have space on song titles sometimes. I'm like, yeah the one that was like
literally same, like, you know, I mean, I can listen to a band for ages and then as soon as someone asks me, I'll just go blank and just remember a thing. But sometimes I'll get into a band by just listening to like them on shuffle for a bit, you know? And then then I'll come back to oh, okay, I like this song. So yeah. Well,
that gets into the discussion of like there are fans and then there are fans. You know what I'm saying? Where people get offended if you say the wrong, you say Absolver wrong. People are gonna be like, no, that if you say like Absolver or Absolver, people are gonna be like, no, that's Absolver. That's Absolver. That's Latin.
No, they can fuck off, man. So
fucking, I love both. You know what I mean? Fucking both sets of fans. They're fucking the diehard fans.
Bad ones, yeah.
Those ones fucking they scratch a special place for me and really push me to keep doing it, dude. Because like literally people that like I'll go on the other side of the fucking planet, dude, and somebody gives me one of my first EPs I ever made to sign, and I'm like, bro, how the fuck you been following me this long? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, you know, like.
Do you have
But
like any
that
funny
shit-
fan reactions that you've had? Like, you know, when
Oh,
you've met a fan and
I
they've been
met
weird.
I met the fan that won the pernicious mask auction at a random occurrence, and he had the mask on him and everything. I thought that was one of the coolest diehard fan moments because I remember holding that in my hand and being like sad that we were auctioning it off because I like having like a little collection of shit for like my music videos. Like I have like the death whistle, like I have like the book that we burnt and totem. I have like a piece of wood from like the first like set props that I built, like just dumb shit. I like little treasures that mean something to me. Um, but like literally, I was sad that we were auctioning it off because I really wanted that mask. I really wanted it, and fucking like literally, like I see him, he's wearing the shirt, and he's like, "Sup, bro? You want to see the mask?" And I was like,
Give it to me.
"You took it out of my, you took it away from me." I was like, "Let me see it, please, let me see it." I got to see it fucking, then I went to put it on and it was still all slimy from the KY shit that was on there. Because you'd be surprised what people be using for special effects. Like fucking like, yeah, we want that thing to look slimy and alive. Put KY all over it, dude.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, man.
me and Brad once, like, speaking of like weird like props for music videos, me and Brad once did like a music video for like our friend Percy Bones. Like he's a rapper from like where we are, and
yeah.
and he goes, oh, I just want like this scene where someone's like cut in half, and we ended up going to the butcher's, actually getting like real like, just I was like, we were like, what's the weirdest looking shit you've got? Like, they're like, well, we've got like pig asshole, we got like like this like weird deflated lung thing. I was like, we'll take the lot. So then like
Harry Potter or something.
we lay it all on the table, and like Cal was just like, the guy that's gonna be in the like tables like chickened out.
What a...
Is anyone here up for it? And I was there like, Brad were looking at me like, well, I'm filming, so I can't. And I was there like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get in the fucking table.
It's the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, it was like up
I
to my
bet.
stomach, and it was like I was just feeling it, and it was just like all cold, and like I was covered in like this fake blood, and I was there like, it might. I was wearing shorts, and some of it dripped into my shorts, and then my shorts smelled like pig guts for like a week.
Ew, you had pig ass on your dick. Ew.
It's the
I'm
only
not
time I
even
consider being vegan, to be honest. Like,
Oh yeah, I was
Oh
there,
my
like,
God, that's a
if this
vegan
is the
cell,
end
bro.
process, I was like, if this is the end result, I don't want to eat this shit anymore. Like this shit's nasty. Oh man, it was so gross. But yeah, like the weird, that's like easily some of the weirdest like props that I've ever been around for like for a music video. Because I was just sat there like going, I remember Brad White just look at the camera. I'm like, Brad, this liver's touching me.
His liver's touching me. Oh my God, yo.
That's genuinely so hard.
See, I wish I had a butcher that was that fucking close to me that would let me do some shit like that. I'd be doing some fucked up shit.
Oh mate, you
Yeah,
should have
man.
seen how he looked at us. I don't think if I ever went there again, it's because he was there like because
Probably not.
we went, what's the weirdest shit you got? And he looked at us and he like, huh?
I do still go to that butcher's, to be fair. Luckily, they don't recognize me, but you were the one asking, so.
Yeah. Fucking, I think that he's definitely gonna remember the face that asked him for the pig ass. You know what I
I'll
mean?
take the pig ass. He's like, I wonder what he's using that pig ass for.
Literally, man. I want to ask, obviously you mentioned that you went to art school as well, and I know you're a tattoo apprentice too. Like, talk to me about your journey as an artiste. What made you want to do tattooing?
I've always wanted to be a tattoo artist. It's always like I really never had the opportunity, you know what I mean? As like I was growing up, I did like a lot of art classes in middle school. Miss Martha, she fucking taught me a lot. Once I kind of like moved on into life, I kind of just decided to go about the trade life, and I got my degree in welding technology and metallurgy. where whenever I was in college and everything, I did a bunch of like side classes for like rapid visualization and a lot of fine line design stuff because I wanted to get into both like drafting and like building. I wanted to kind of get into the whole like engineering field and just be like a hands-on engineer essentially. So I took those things and uh, next thing you know, I'm in the band and then I'm drawing again because I got all this fucking time on my hands. Just drawing and drawing. And I love getting tattooed. It's very therapeutic for me. And I was there and I tried getting an apprenticeship in the past and it just like never happened. They just said I had to get better. I was too young, shit like that. And then that's whenever I met my first mentor and he was like, yeah, your merch designs are really cool, you should consider tattooing. And I was like, you gonna teach me how? And started teaching me, and next thing you know, I left there because of some personal differences. Didn't believe in some of the things that he believed in, and moved on. And then kind of fell off for a little bit just because the band got a little bit busier. um, and then I got the opportunity again to come into my previous location, Nice Inc. They welcomed me with open arms. They taught me a lot of basics where I had to start learning um, on kind of on my own with other mentors and there and everything, giving me little tips and everything. But I'm still an apprentice now. Hopefully, within the foreseeable future, I'll be released and I can start doing some cooler stuff. Because right now, I'm kind of just doing like more basic things. I'll try to not push the envelope too much because I don't want to fuck anybody up. You know what I mean? You want to give somebody a nice experience, and
Yeah.
you're trying to give them something that they could have for the rest of their lives, and you don't want to kind of fuck it up and they're just like, yo, that piece of shit fucked me up. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be that guy. But yeah, I learned a lot. I get a lot of lessons while I'm on the road. Shout out my buddy Mitch from Dallas. He definitely taught me a lot. While I was on tour with Whitechapel, I got to watch him tattoo Phil Bozeman, and just literally just get a live lesson in the venue. It was very cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Do you just like pick that up then when you like back off the road, then you just like go back into the tattooing and then go back on the road and then sort of like
It's
juggle
kind of
them
been
that
like
way?
that right now. I'm trying to figure out what will work for my lifestyle, where I could keep progressing and kind of keep going. Because like while I'm on the road, I draw a lot, and that's just so I don't fall out of my and get bad habits while I'm gone. I try to keep riding the bike as much as possible. You know what I mean? Just so because like it's like riding a bike. You know what I mean? Like that phrase. I try to stay on the bike as much as possible and just try drawing as much as I can, even if I'm just pulling lines, like just trying to pull straight lines, fucking trying to do a nice like curve or trying to even draw in a moving van's a fucking cunt. Um, but yeah, it's real difficult to try to find the balance of how it works right now. Because like I'm like booking while I'm on tour and then I come home and then things come up while I'm at home, like more music video shoots or I gotta, you know what I mean? Just scheduling's really difficult, you know, and whenever you're trying to do like art on the side and it's like based on scheduling and it's business hours and yeah, you know what I mean? If I
Oh
can
yeah.
just fall down that rabbit hole, it's a pain in the dick.
Oh yeah. But I
You get breaking up a bit, mate.
Yeah.
I can't draw to save my life. I did
I'll
art
be back.
in high school. Oh, am I breaking up? Is it better now? Is it
Yeah,
better
you're
now?
back.
You're back now.
Yeah,
You're
you're good
back.
now, yeah.
All right, sweet, sweet. But yeah, I always wanted to do that, like tailoring and all that. But I did art in high school and I was terrible at it. I've been trying to like get better at drawing, but like I was like, oh, I always want to be a tattoo artist. I'm like, can't draw though.
Once you break it down to it just being shapes on shapes with like black coming from points of the shapes, it's easy. You know what I mean? Like Because like say like I'm looking at your mic right now, basically just a round cylinder. You know what I mean? And like a rounded cylinder on the end. You know what I mean? You just get your basic shape and then you add the little extra little lines in there, and then you got yourself a microphone on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Once you break it down to shapes instead of like trying to focus on like the actual texture of the entire thing, it's like a rapid design thing where you just like focus on like say like my glasses, like if you were to try to draw those, you draw the squares first, then you do your straight lines, then you round everything off to actually build what it is. You know, it's one of those things like if you don't got patience, you're fucked.
Oh yeah, like,
that's me fucked then.
Brad's the most. I mean, we both work well together because we're both pretty impatient. But I'd say like Brad's the more impatient one. Like
yeah, man.
Like the one thing that I am good at is cartoons. If you show me like a picture of a cartoon or like if I have time to like memorize it, I can draw it. Like in high school, if someone draw Peter Griffin, I'd just sit there in like 2 seconds. I'm like, there you go, there's Peter Griffin. Like,
see, like if you memorize the formulas, bro, you could be a fucking tattoo artist. That because believe it or not, dude, fucking literally, there's a formula to drawing and almost everything. Like drawing a snake, fucking. There's your scales.
Just practicing it. Like I imagine, just like learn techniques and then get it down.
Yeah, honestly, I like to think of like tattooing like.
Oh yeah, I've been
once you figure out the variables, bro, fucking it's pretty just go through the system.
Oh yeah, I've been looking at like these like YouTube videos, which like here's a crash course in drawing. So I've been sat there every night, just kind of just like trying to relearn because like art class they taught us the basics, but I remember just being sat there like not really paying attention. My best mate used to sit right next to me, so I just used to just be like, yeah, fuck this, I'm going to talk about random shit to this guy. So that's literally all I did in art. He actually listened, and he's actually pretty decent now. But yeah, like I was like just kind of sat there being like, oh, I'll just talk to my best mate. It's just
see, like that's where it might not be your thing. You know what I mean? You might have a solid appreciation for it, but everybody has their own special thing that they're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I found like when I was doing it in like a school setting, it was a lot harder to focus. When I'm doing it myself, it's a lot easier. It's
I learned better by myself than when I was in like uni or something, to be fair.
Yeah, like school settings or like just any training setting in general, I just kind of switch off. If someone's
a lot
talking
of pressure,
yeah, well, it's that, and it's like if someone's talking at me, like, and like talking how you do it theoretically, it doesn't stick. But if I listen to someone and start doing it myself, it sticks. So like I never did well in school because of that reason. I need to do something on my own, fuck it up a couple of times, listen to someone whilst trying to do it, and then that's how I learn it. My brain's a bit odd with learning stuff like that, or like just learning stuff in general. So that's like the method I always have to use now. So it always works now though.
Right.
One thing as well, we've got sort of getting to like the end point. We've got like probably 2 more questions.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just chilling, bro. I'm having a good time.
What are your like hobbies and like interests outside the bands other than like tattooing and obviously the band stuff? What do you get up to?
Oh fuck, dude. Honestly, if I get the time to like not work, I am a fucking fiend for Apex Legends. That game is like a fucking drug to me, dude.
I was
like,
terrible at Apex.
Oh, dude, I'm like, it's just like I'm just like in it, like fucking. I'm like the type of guy that like gets like I'll be like yelling at my TV, like you fucking motherfucker, what are you doing? Yeah, like fucking. But
you any good?
Hobbies. I like to think so. I'm in diamond rank, and I came into the season late. You know what I mean? I was on tour whenever they dropped season 17. I've been playing since season 2.
Oh wow,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I've been playing this game. Yeah, I've been playing for a long time. I always fall off because like I don't read the patch notes and fucking I think old guns that are still buffed as shit are sick, and you know what I mean. Like you read the patch notes, you'll be able to whoop ass, but I kind of don't. I but other hobbies though, fucking I really like gardening. Um, I take a lot of pride in my yard at my house. Like I like doing my mulch and like my front garden in front of my house and shit. Um, like I don't know what the flowers are called. I just like look at the pictures and I think they look pretty and I get them. You know what I mean? It makes my fiance really happy.
Which is quite a therapeutic experience of gardening, to be
Yeah,
fair.
it has like a start and end point. It has routine. Uh, it's a good like grounding thing for me. Because like I'm all over the fucking place. You know what I mean? And like my rose bushes, if they died, I'd be pretty butthurt. You know what I mean? I could be on the other side of the planet and my fiance could call me and be like, the rose bush died. I'd be like, fuck.
Like, what's wrong, Dave? It's like, oh, my rose bush died.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I really put a lot of pride into like my shit, like in my yard. I'm new to it. That's where I think I have a lot of pride because it looks really cool. Because like I learned stuff like doing manual labor jobs in the past, you know what I mean? Like doing landscaping and stuff. So my shit came out really good, you know, like and I was genuinely impressed with myself. Um, and I like getting in, I do that kind of stuff. I like just hanging out and watching movies and shit, you know, like getting lost in a fucking good TV series. It's real nice. Um, Obviously I love smoking weed. Uh, that I don't drink or anything. So I kind of just like I like smoking a little joint, kicking back a little bit, you know, fucking makes me chatty, you
Oh
know,
yeah, man.
like
Oh yeah.
um
It's interesting that you mentioned the gardening because we spoke to Mark from Suicide Silence and he's quite big on his garden as well. I'm starting to think it's to start like a TV show called Deathcore Gardening. Get
oh
you
my
guys
god.
started on it.
To be fair, specifically, Mark was like, I mean, I used to grow weed. He was,
Hey,
I'm a big
Step up your
guy.
garden game.
I can't legally say I can, so
Well, we're in the UK. We're in like the dark ages, so we sadly
I
can't.
know, dude. Fucking anytime I go over there, it's like a fucking miracle to get a bud. Fucking
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
anyone over your neck of the woods, whenever we're over there, you guys want to help us get some weed, just hit me up,
We'll sort you out, don't worry. I
my
mean, what?
man.
Well, honestly, like I hope one day they'll legalize it in the UK because at this point it feels wrong being like having to go to some dodgy like car being like, yo, have you got that plant thing? Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it just
I
doesn't.
feel like the success rate that the United States is having for how much money that it's actually bringing into the country, I believe that it's going to end up kind of growing a little more. It might end up being like how like the Netherlands is for you
Mm.
guys. You know what I mean? Um, because even over there, they've been recreational legal for a while now, and their kind of shit's like kind of like the Stone Age. Whenever I went in there, comparing it to like being in the States and like you go to a recreational place there, it's like you're walking into a beer distributor. You know what I mean? There it's like, give me your fucking passport. Look at this
Oh.
fucking menu. Get the fuck out.
But
You know, like
it's really weird. I think it's because there's a lot. I think it's just how like it's like how British people are in general. Like especially there's a lot of older people that are like in like government, like everywhere else really. But I
yeah.
think like the older British people have like a certain sentiment to them where they're like, no, you can't. What are you on about? No, you can't. You can't
Yeah,
legalize that.
it's still like it's definitely a more of a narcotic in your area of the woods, you know. Because like whenever like I was over there and like I was like I got caught smoking and fucking he was like, are you fucking stupid? And I'm just like, dude, I'm from the United States. Like, this is like what I'm supposed to do if I'm trying to be like do drugs. Like, I go to a park and I go to the edge of the park where no one else goes. Like, I'm not bothering nobody, bro. Just let me go.
Oh, mate, what the British police are so strict on that stuff. Like, even like there was like a old policy that like did the rounds in the UK, like that they were thinking about doing, where they was gonna do like random drug tests or at nightclubs, or like put in like people at nightclubs to stop people taking like MDMA and like cocaine and stuff like that, and clamp down on it. And I was just thinking, if you did that at clubs, I feel like a lot of clubs would just
shut down
clientele, if I'm honest. Like, because it's a big problem in the UK. Like, everyone, you go into one bathroom at a bar in the UK, there's someone in the cubicle and sniffing. Like, so like it's like everywhere's getting shut down within a week if you implement that policy. Like,
Yeah, honestly, I noticed that whenever I was over there, like a lot of like actual drugs going on more than weed drugs. You know what I mean? Like, because like I just smoke weed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't drink. I don't do like drugs. You know what I mean? Like, fucking. And it was hard for me to find weed, but I could find drugs easy. I could find Molly fucking just walking down the street.
It's quite weird, isn't it? That is just so much
No,
easier
it's
to
weird as
access.
fuck.
yeah, like well, to fair, even like I think even to me and Brad, like we see it as pretty weird. Like, we notice it's like really picked up since post COVID. Like, it feels like everyone is on like some kind of like cocaine or like MDMA after COVID. Like, there's not one, but you look around a bar, you'll spot at least like half of those fuckers. You're like, yeah,
It's because they're trying to live double time to make up for the time they lost.
Oh,
Maybe I don't know, bro.
I think it's directly tied into like the UK's drinking culture, because our drinking culture is like,
I mean, like, you guys do
all.
be drinking.
It's
do be
it's not
drinking.
healthy.
We
at all.
do be drinking.
It's like you honestly, it's like the two obsessions of like is tea, beer. It's like that's it. It's like, oh, you had a bad day, either have a tea or a beer. Depends how bad the day is. Like, so it literally just boils down to that. Like, so, oh, it's been a rough day. Okay, have a cup of tea. Oh, it's been shit.
But
Have
to
a
introduce the
pint.
tea beers, that's when shit's going down.
Yeah. So like, I think like the culture of it's like it's just having as much alcohol as possible, and Coke obviously just weighs down the effects of alcohol. So I think that's why you see so many people doing Coke in the UK, because it's like it means I can spend longer drinking. So I genuinely think it's just directly tied to that unhealthy like behavior when it comes
I mean,
to
like, I
drinking.
could definitely get that connection. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, those are real big party drugs after a big, massive shutdown where people weren't able to live, you know, and like actually experience life. So
Oh yeah.
fucking people be doing that shit. Fucking live your life. Fucking
Oh
just
yeah.
be safe, you know.
Definitely. I want to so we got like one more question for you. So say it's a zombie apocalypse and you with your bandmates, who would you be most reliant on and who would you be least reliant on?
Fuck.
Name and shame.
Oh man. That's um
It's a tough one.
it
I don't think
is.
we've ever asked the bandit where they haven't like sat there and thought,
Yeah, because like it's like I know I'd probably rely on Bobby. But like it depends on the scenario. Like, say if I'm like going to like have a communication agreement with somebody, I'm gonna bring Mike because Mike is like a wizard, dude. Like, he can talk to anybody, and like he just something about his voice. He has great podcast voice. Fucking, but like general getting shit done, it's like a tie between Mike and Carl made. I mean, Bobby and Carl. It's so fucking hard. I think that I think I would be the one that people would be like, I don't know what Dave's gonna do. You know what I mean? Even though I'd be able to like weld and like make like a fortress and shit. Carl, he just knows how to like make something out of nothing. Like he'll make a bong out of like fucking literally garbage in the van, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, you know what I mean. So like he might be useful in the zombie apocalypse, but at the same time, he might suck. I don't know. Like fucking, I don't know what his shots like.
But you got
I
the
might,
garden there, like you can grow some vegetables and shit,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
keep the
yeah, yeah.
people fed,
See, I can brand the fucking clans that of people like, you know what I'm saying? Like with the tattooing and stuff. I'll be like the mobile guy and be able to fucking like, yeah, you need your own symbol of yours of your clan, and I'll
Signs
put
of
like
swarm cult.
uh,
Hell yeah, man.
fucking. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd say on a like on who I'd rely on the most as a scale, I'd say Bobby, Mike, Carl. Carl's the last, Bobby's the first. Grand
awesome,
scale.
man.
Grand scale.
But yeah, man, it's been honestly great chatting with you. I really can't
Yeah,
wait for the
thanks
new
for
album.
having me, guys. It's been fucking real fun time. Fucking
Oh yeah,
haven't laughed a
definitely.
lot fucking on a podcast in a while. It's usually just like, hey, there's this question. And it's like, oh, here's this answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes
we hate that shit,
sometimes
man.
it's grueling. Sometimes it's grueling. So thanks for making this fun.
No worries. We listen to well, I personally like listen to every episode back because I edit the audio as well. But I normally listen to it when it's released, and if I like we hated like the formulaic stuff, so we like to just like have a
Have
laugh.
fun.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun having you on, man.
Dude, fucking the organic approach is the best. You know what I mean? Whenever you just get in and just start bullshitting, man, it just brings out the true magic of what this shit's about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Brad's the structure guy, but we both can bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been sick. I can't wait to listen to new records. And so I think you coming to Leeds in the UK at some point soon?
Yes, I am.
That's
Yes,
in
I
our neck of the
am.
woods. So might have to
Yeah.
join you there.
Well, fucking come on through. Fucking hit us up. Fucking I'll list you bitches.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah,
man.
sounds good, man.
Yeah, fucking we'll get a
When are you
good
coming?
proper chain. Fuck, I need to look. I forget the date off the top of the head. Uh we actually was just talking about that tour this morning. Got some things that are gonna be changing around for it. So this might be, I know that we're 100% going still, but it's just the dates might get moved around. Leeds is the 29th of August at the Key Club.
Sweet.
We
10-minute walk from my house or flat, so I'll be there.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
definitely, man.
fucking,
We'll both be
I'll
there.
be there fucking all damn day. So fucking, you guys want to hang out before their show? Hit me up. I'll be fucking rotting away in my bus.
Yeah, I'd love
No
to,
worries,
man. Love to. But yeah, awesome stuff, man. Yeah, thank you again, and we'll catch you at the Key Club.
Oh yeah. I'll see you guys there.